Welcome back. Here we are. So we're going to get into it now, the course learning outcomes. This is an opportunity for us to spend a little bit of time exploring the different outcomes we're going to develop throughout this particular course. And we've got this lovely view, a visual of it called a learning hive. And Chris, we love hexagons, don't we?
Oh, so much, so much. They're the best shape, Tom.
They are the best shape.
Yeah, and the reason that we love them so much is that they tessellate so beautifully. And when we're thinking about learning, which we've already started talking a little bit about, learning about making connections between knowledge and mindsets and skill sets and tool sets and building those connections and those schema, then the hexagons really allow us to sort of visualize that in quite a beautiful, I think, quite a beautiful way. And so what we've got here is the learning hive, as Tom says. As you look from kind of left to right, that is roughly the chronology of the course. We haven't broken it down by lessons, but we want to give you a kind of high level overview. And you'll notice that obviously on the kind of center left there, you've got the solo taxonomy. That's the core. That's absolutely the core of what we want you to leave this course having a deep understanding of. But you'll notice that the other hexagons have different colors. So for example, the red hexagons, they're open and ready to learn, and analytical and creative designer. They're some of the mindsets that we want you to adopt. And in each of the chapters, during the kind of knowledge set, mindset, skill set, tool set introduction, we'll go into them in a little bit more depth and talk about what we mean by that. But that gives you an idea of some of the mindsets you might be adopting. The green hexagons are all about knowledge. So this is new knowledge or deepening knowledge. So for example, in the first kind of part of this course, you're going to really understand the purpose of the Solo taxonomy, the language of the Solo taxonomy, and the application of the Solo taxonomy. You'll then notice that we've got some yellow bubbles, and the yellow bubbles are tools. So they're some of the really powerful kind of, and we'll talk about this later, about the toolkit that you're going to leave this course with. And so the first big tool that we're going to use very soon, in fact, is the concept bubbles. So again, don't worry at this level about what all of that means. This is really a high-level overview. We've got reflection smack bang in the center as really one of those skills that we want to be practicing all the time. And I think we deliberately put it there so that it's not at the end of any course. It's absolutely something which is core to what we do. So as we move through the course to kind of the second part or the second half, we are really then looking at, okay, we've understood the purpose, we understand the language and how you can use Solo taxonomy. Let's design it. Let's really start getting into that. How do you design for really great learning growth? How do you find signals of learning and proxies of learning, which are really powerful? And how does things like a hexagonal thinking, growth ladders, really help you to use Solo taxonomy to unpack that? And then using some of the tools like critique strategies and design canvas to be able to create your own kind of beautiful examples of how you might use Solo taxonomy as an underpinning framework for wonderful, beautiful work from learners, which is really visible in terms of the signals of learning it produces. So I think, Tom, that's a very high-level overview, and we're going to dig deep into all of these kind of different sections. But I think what we might even do now is think about taking a little bit of a stop and explore, because I think we have a beautiful kind of resource linked here, right?
We do. So another great opportunity just to take stock, spend a little bit longer digging into what this map of outcomes shows us. But also, if hexagonal thinking is a new resource or a new way of representing these things for you, this is a chance for you just to stop and download another resource. And there's so much going on in this chapter, Chris, isn't there? Like already with like tons of resources and toolkits to use. So download, just in here, you can see another link where you can get hold of a copy of the Learning Hive, and you can explore that in a little bit more depth. And so this is a great opportunity again for you to reflect, to kind of take stock, think about your own context, think about how you might even use some of these sort of mapping tools within your own teaching and learning. And so let's take a minute now just to stop and explore.